Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Phoenix Rising. So, first things first, quick reminder, this is not me in the video, this is me after the video, recording voice over again because didn't record the voice first time. But, let's just get right into it. If you remember, we left off with this here raid. And the main reason that I left it there is because this is the sort of thing that I expect to take a long time to actually do. You know? We've had these sorts of raids before and they're a pain in the butt because you can't go out and meet the enemy. Otherwise they'll just snipe your building and it's just a matter of waiting for them to decide they want to wander over. And then they do a lot of kiting with their infantry, which is just takes a long time to deal with.
We've secured a build pad. Repair station constructing.
Let's move out.
Turret constructing.
Let's go! Awaiting orders. Keep going. Copy. This way.
This here is me wondering if those plants are hostile on this planet, and it seems like the big green, like, pitcher plant almost kind of things aren't. They don't spew gas. But there are other things that do.
Turret constructing.
Moving out. Commander, the enemy is approaching.
And guess what they brought? They brought SD Hulk droids. Ain't that just wonderful? And they brought the really fully upgraded ones too. Mark IV SD Hulk. Wonderful. And as you might imagine, having discovered that, I was rather irritated with it.
Let's go.
They're frustrating to fight. Because you can't use vehicles, and they do a lot of good damage against infantry.
Coordinates received.
But yeah, those bulb-looking things are the ones that are actually hostile on this planet, not the taller things. But yeah, that right there, that's why these things are frustrating. There's nothing this vehicle can do whatsoever.
Roger that. Ready for action. Form up. Ready. Right away.
I'm not sure why they took the landing zone there. They don't usually when they've raided us before. Because they can't do anything with them. There's no point, you know? It's a raid, so there's no reinforcements, and I mean, there aren't field bases either, so I'm not really sure why they, because they seemed to be hanging around that landing zone for much of this battle, and I don't know why.
This way. Form up. Awaiting orders. Copy.
It also has womp rats on this planet, but interestingly, the units don't automatically want to attack it. I mean, you can if you order them to, but that it's not automatic, which is
Let's move out.
really nice, having been on, like, Tatooine.
Yes, Commander. Awaiting your orders. I copy. Reporting. Over there.
I'm wondering if
Yes, sir.
that was a
On it, sir.
change that they made at some point, but it's something that you have to do for each individual map.
Reporting. Ready for action.
And it's just
Let's
been,
go.
there've just been maps that they've missed when they went and
Yes,
changed
Commander.
it. It's the only reason I can think that there would be
Course,
that kind of difference.
Roger. Keep going. Reporting in. Ready. Weapons ready.
I believe that
Advancing.
squad there is actually the
To be over.
the hero there.
Advance.
I'm also mentioning right here the fact that it's kind of irritating that
Forward.
the hover vehicles can't go across that
Targeting
infantry only
enemy.
path, even though
Right away.
seems like they really should be able to there. But I think the thing is
Heading
that
out.
it's
Roger that. This
the
way.
terrain
Over here.
has a passable or not passable for infantry or hover vehicles, and I imagine it's probably you can't get it to do both. Is probably what's going on there.
Form up. T2B, copy. Fall out, troops. Let's move out. Let's go.
And
Target in
there's the
range.
SD Hulks, or one of them at least. They're also
Keep
hard
going.
to
This
track.
way.
Not even just visually, but when you're trying to click on them, they're
Over there.
small and hard to click on,
Main cannons charged.
which is another thing that makes them kind of frustrating to fight.
Attack. Awaiting orders. Fire at will. I copy. On it, sir. Course plotted.
Base is under attack.
Advancing.
That, combined with the fact that they're just fast. Like, look at how fast they're moving across there like that.
Roger. Heavy
We've
fire.
secured a build pad.
But one thing I find interesting is they don't always stun stuff. Like, this one has a full-on battle with that turret and it never ions it, or never stops it from being able to operate, at least. But we've seen them shut down turrets before, and they shut down this one in the middle here at least a couple of times throughout this battle. So I don't know, like, there must be some kind of
Moving into position. Armor ready.
chance, or maybe it's just not hitting.
Heading out.
I'm not entirely sure, but because sometimes it seems like, even with the vehicles, they'll get into a fight with
Order acknowledged.
these droids, and they won't immediately get ioned, and I'm not sure what's going on there.
Secured a
Lock
build
and
pad.
I thought it was because when you have shields up, you shouldn't be able to be stunned, right? By an ion cannon, but that doesn't seem to be the case, so I don't know.
Ready for action. Affirmative. Coordinates received.
Unit destroyed.
Right away. Copy. Let's move out. Following your lead. Copy. Let's go. Right behind you.
Constructing.
Ready. Yes, sir. Heading out. Attack. Reporting. Open fire.
think maybe the best thing to do against these things is to use rocket infantry, maybe the suppressors or something like that, because normal infantry just get either shredded, or even if they don't get shredded, they don't do very much damage to it, even with the grenades. I think the most damage we end up doing to them throughout here is with the grenades, and I think it requires all 4 squads to destroy one of them. All 4 squads, all of their grenades. And I'm not even sure if that is enough, now I think about it. It's hard to keep track of because of how much they're doing with the kiting back and forth.
Commander. Over here. Moving out. Roger. Location confirmed. Attack that target. Yes, Commander. Awaiting your orders. Armor ready. Reporting. Spreading out.
I think for this sort of battle especially, if we are able to get the
Moving into position.
full level 1 research done so that it upgrades our tech, I think that'll really help with these sorts of battles. We've got better units being deployed by the garrisons.
Targeting. Order acknowledged.
At this point, I'm just basically like charge in with the grenades. We're not hardly doing any damage with anything else.
Yes, sir. Coordinates received. Roger. Right away. Yes, sir. Heading out. Fall out. Form up. Awaiting orders. Over there. Fire at will. On it, sir. Reporting in. Let's move out. Spread out, men. Let's go. Affirmative. Keep going. Fire at will. Avoiding fire. Copy. I copy. Attacking. Targeting. Roger that.
And there's the hero, right there. I believe it's something like Daka Fosser?
Reporting.
Fosser?
Firing.
Fosser? Not sure, but this is, I'm pointing out that it's definitely the health bar up at the top is denoting the squad at the moment. See. Full health hero, but the squad, the icon at the top,
Yes, sir.
it's definitely not full health, so it's tracking the squad.
Form up.
It seems to me that there are some heroes with squads that don't work like that, and some heroes with squads that do.
This way. Over here. Yes, Commander.
Maybe I'm getting them confused with the
Copy. Spreading out.
Starfighter squadrons, though,
Ready. Course
We've
plotted.
secured a build pad.
T2B over.
because I think they track
Constructing.
Reporting.
the individual hero rather than the squadron or
Roger.
something. I don't know. Either way, the health indication is kind of a little wonky sometimes.
Yes, Commander. Commander.
Up at the top,
Advancing.
anyway.
Awaiting your orders. Location confirmed.
We have so many of those things. Look at them.
Heavy fire.
Construction complete.
Moving into position. Order acknowledged. Reporting. Take cover.
This
Coordinates
is where
received.
I'm just like, no, we're heading straight in with the grenades.
Base is under attack.
Lock and load. Yes, sir.
And you can tell it just
Ready for
doesn't
action.
hardly do anything
Ready. Heading out.
comparatively. Like, they're just...
Yes, sir. Fall out.
It's better than the blasters we've got, but it's still not great.
Attack. Armor standing by.
The tanks do a pretty decent chunk of damage per shot. When they're, you know, not knocked out by the ions.
Reporting in. Let's move out. Roger that.
I'm wondering if the Rangers would be better for this,
Armor ready.
rather than these guys, the normal guys. Because they have that power to weapons,
Let's
or
go.
whatever it's called, ability.
This way. Open fire. Spread out, men. Attack that target. Awaiting orders. Over here. Copy. Attacking target. Ready to roll. Roger that.
Still kind of surprised they never sent anything over
I copy.
there to the right to hit that mine. Over there in the far east of the map. There's nothing over there, and there would be nothing we could do to stop them. Kind of odd that they didn't send anything over there.
Advancing. Reporting.
There, you see? The turret
Awaiting
is
orders.
stunned. So I don't know
Commander. Yes,
why
Commander.
that other one seemed to be just
Roger.
fine
Location
to
confirmed.
carry on firing and fight with that other one. And it's not like it couldn't hit the turret. Like, it was just straight up not stunning it for some reason.
Moving into position. Order acknowledged. Target
That
in
right
sight.
there, I think,
Coordinates
yeah, there.
received. Avoiding fire.
Killed the
Attacking.
last two of the squad, so that makes it,
Targeting.
makes the icon switch over to tracking the actual hero's health. Which I'm fairly sure there are some heroes that just
Awaiting
don't
your
work
orders.
like that.
Firing. Copy. I copy. Targeting enemy. Reporting. Right away. Ready for action. Yes, sir.
And here they are getting
Heading out.
stuck again. I don't understand, like, why they get stuck going in one direction, but you tell them to go the other direction and they're just
Fall
fine.
out. Reporting.
I'm wondering if... I mean, if it was a animation that was bugging
Let's
out,
move out.
usually that just freezes them in place, right? Like, that's... we've had that in Fall of the Republic. The Jedi and Delta Squad has had that issue,
Yes, sir. Target
where they
in
just get
range.
stuck, but that's
Yes, sir.
not something that you can
Affirmative.
just tell them to go in the opposite direction and it fixes.
Let's go.
So, I don't
Keep
know.
going. Fire at will. Spreading out.
We've
Roger.
secured a build
This
pad.
way. Reporting in.
Turret constructing.
Commander. Ready. T2B over.
And here we're hoping that
Advance.
surely 4 tanks can overwhelm
Roger
one droid,
Cover.
even if it can stun them.
Advancing.
Construction complete.
Over here.
You'd
Heavy
think they
fire.
wouldn't be able to lock down 4 tanks with 1 droid, right?
Form up. Moving out. Awaiting orders. T2B, copy. Forward.
Interesting that the
Right away.
spore explosion thing, whatever that is, does actually damage vehicles, but it doesn't go through the shields. Which I guess is kind of the point of shields
Main cannon
for these sorts of
charged.
vehicles. They're environmental shielding,
I copy. Armor.
especially for some of the other Alliance vehicles like the T2. I mean, that's a repurposed mining rig, right? So
Copy.
that's definitely what that thing's
Lock and
shields are
load.
designed
Affirmative.
to do.
Roger. Attack! Fire! Spread out, men! I copy. Location confirmed. Armor ready. Let's move out. Let's go. Reporting. Open fire. Moving into position. Attack that
See how
target.
little the blaster bolts are doing to it? It's just not good. And this is where I'm checking to find out why, and it turns out 6 damage, 6 armor. Means we're doing 1 point
Order acknowledged.
for each hit.
Coordinates received.
1 point of damage.
Attacking
That's why
target.
that's the least you can do in this.
Right away.
Like-
Target in sight. Attacking. Avoiding fire.
Whatever your armor rating,
Commander.
any
Yes, sir.
damage you receive that's
Heading
below
out.
that will
Yes, Commander. Fall out.
be 1
Let's move
damage.
out. Awaiting your orders.
From my understanding of the way armor
Ready
works.
to roll.
So yeah, it's just they are perfectly armored to be able to negate completely our damage, or as completely as
Keep
is
going.
allowed.
Reporting. Let's go. Roger that. This way. Over there.
But at this point, I believe
Ready for
they're
action. Keep
about
going.
out of units. I think she's the only one left.
Targeting.
There might be still a
Spreading out.
droid running around, but I don't think so. I think this is it.
Form up. Awaiting orders. On it, sir.
So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and speed it up here.
Yes, sir. Take cover. Orders. Over here. Copy. Moving out. I copy. Reporting. We've got them on the
And
run.
there she goes. And she was killed. We got the droids. I think the fact that there were no other units there means that the
Vehicle
infantry
in
actually got
production.
away. Oddly. I do decide to build a speeder here, though, because, like, lore is one thing, but there's nothing we can do to stop those raids, so we kind of have to just say, well, you know, kind of needs something at the very least. Something to
Station
stop
ready.
those raids. And that right there is why I didn't want to re-record. They got there before us. Like, right before we got there.
Tactical battle imminent.
And take a look at that mess. Hoo boy. Not only that, but we actually beat the ground forces. But yeah, at this point I am debating. Do we fight this? Or do we not? Can we fight this? Or are they going to squish us?
Ready. At your
The big
service.
thing being
Got it. Enemy has been
they've got
spotted.
the fighter advantage over us. We don't have very much.
Form up.
We don't have hardly any anti-fighter except for the freighters and transports.
Your command? Awaiting command.
And
Moving into position.
We're on
we
station.
don't have all that many
Weapons armed.
fighters to
Ready for
counter
action.
them,
We're advancing on your
Bombers
position.
at the ready.
and they have
Bombers
significant
reporting in.
anti-fighter. So our
What are your
bombers are
orders?
kind of,
Acknowledged.
I mean, not quite useless,
Land
but
shuttle ready.
they're not going to be
Shuttle en route.
that useful because we can't send them in without them getting just torn apart.
Mon calamari cruiser
Reporting.
ready. Coming around. Weapons operational. Ready for command. Roger that.
Obviously, of course, we do decide to actually stay and fight at this point.
No good.
There's, between them being right there already, and
Form up.
me thinking, well, we do have a lot of firepower here, and we do have Akbar's bonus, so maybe we can take them. I'm not sure. And I mean, we took apart that acclimator pretty quick, and this requisite is going down too, so maybe we can do this, actually.
Roger that.
But yeah,
At your command.
this is the point where I'm
Destination set.
trying to get everything
Yes,
together, because they got into position so quickly that we didn't even have time to launch all of the fighters. So our full force isn't even on the field yet.
I've got him on my scopes.
Copy. I copy.
Plus our whole formation is just a mess. We don't want the smaller ships in front because they can't take anything like as much damage as the big MCs.
Responding.
But
Calamari frigate here.
I mean,
Affirmative.
this is the problem with
Frigate ready.
They're coming
jumping in without a pathfinder, is you don't get to select your
around. Another pass.
formation.
Been hit.
And when the enemy can get to you that quickly, it's a problem.
Copy. I copy. I've lost engine 2. On the way. Shuttle online.
Ready to commence. May the force be with us.
I think it's cool that the
Charge.
tractor beams don't usually activate until you actually order the ship to attack.
Our
But yeah,
shield generator is down.
I've basically decided that the bombers just aren't going to be able to do anything because the Dreadnought has huge amounts of rapid fire lasers,
Right away.
and everything
On my
to the
way.
right of it
Ready
is
for
just
command. Roger that.
full of anti-fighter.
Form up.
We could probably,
Right away.
looking back, we could probably destroy that Dreadnought, but there's no telling how many bombers we would lose in the process.
Mon calamari cruiser here.
At this point, I'm actually checking because it feels like something is running in the background that shouldn't be, and I'm trying to make sure that the recording is going okay and the game is not going to freak out, and trying to settle things down. In particular, it felt like my mouse was lagging, like the cursor was lagging for some reason. So,
On our way.
yeah, I'm not... It's fortunately looking like the actual recording is fine. We're not getting that weird slideshow effect that we've gotten before, but
Mon calamari cruiser
yeah.
ready. Weapons ready.
As you can see, we're doing okay, but they've
Forward.
only just now started to get the bombers
On my way.
properly into range.
I've got it lined up.
Not to mention, they still have firepower back in the back that they haven't gotten into range yet. And here I'm remarking on the weirdness that is the quasars seeming to repair or be repaired or something, or whatever is going on there. Because, like, these things are utility class. These are not. Utility class are supposed to repair. Quasars aren't utility. It doesn't say anything in there about them repairing. So what is, how, why, what is going on? What are they doing? What is the blue healing flashy thing?
For the kill.
Don't understand it.
Got one. I've been hit. Got him now.
I copy. Awaiting orders.
I can't see him. 6.1. I need help. Stay in attack formation.
Here I'm deciding to send the bombers against the citadels. I don't want to send them deep into that mess there because, well,
I've been hit.
obviously I'm expecting them to get just deleted if they do that. But they're just being useless back here, so I sent them after the citadels specifically because they're the largest ships back in this
Scratch one.
sort of area that they can probably destroy. I'm not sure how
Fire.
effective bombers are against transports.
Open fire. Cruiser responding. We've lost our main shields.
We're too close.
Ready to
That was
commence.
that MC-80 on the right.
Weapons
It's
charged.
being the most hammered by the bombers.
Weapons operational. Attack that target. Frigate standing by. Forward. Ready. Attacking target. Frigate responding. Ready to commence.
Yeah, I don't know how effective and useful those guys are being, but
That's it. Scratch one. I've been hit.
I mean, again, you don't want to just send them straight into the whole mess of their anti-fighter,
Mon calamari cruiser
not
ready.
without support, and we don't have hardly any fighters here.
Consider it done. Weapons operational. Roger that. Targeting. Form up.
Stay on him.
Firing. All craft attack ready. Engage. Calamari frigate here. Mon calamari frigate ready.
I need help.
Awaiting orders.
That's it. Scratch one.
Ready for command. Heading for coordinates. Copy. I copy.
me!
All craft engage. Commence the attack.
Stay in attack formation. They're
And
falling back.
there it is, surprisingly. They never actually get the Invincibles into range,
Yes, Commander.
but I think,
Ready.
especially watching this back, I can tell
Cruiser.
why we were able to do this. I didn't think that we were going to be able to, at least not without much heavier casualties, but actually that was quite good. And I thought then, and I think even more so now, the big thing with that battle was the fact that they have so many different speeds. Like, the Invincibles are so slow. The Dreadnoughts are faster, but they're still also slow. Then the Acclamator is fast. It's a fast assault ship. And then the Recusants are a little slower than that, and it meant that they came in stages. They didn't hit us all at once. If they had hit us all at once, we would have been in trouble. But that is that. We actually made it. And presumably that crushed a pretty substantial amount of the fleet that they have up in this sort of area. It's almost certainly not all of it, but yeah, we were victorious.
Destination.
I still want to know where they got those gladiators. They're Mark II gladiators. How does the CIS get gladiators? I don't understand. But yeah, I think that is going to do it. I'm just talking about how we want to get a full build bar of units built for the fighters. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode. Next episode is going to be a proper actual episode, like, for real though. I don't think we have many plans specifically other than to just keep trying to get the Empire and CSA to fight one another, and where that's not gonna work, well, try not to die.
Let's go.
But yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed it, and hope to see you next time. Till then, take care, and farewell.